Easter. Good morning. It's bright because it's daytime. It's not sunny. But I'm right by the window. So it looks bright, but it's not sunny. It's gray. I think we're going to have rain today. I'm Barbara. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much to everyone who has commented and sent me messages. I'm so glad to hear about you and what's going on with you and how you're doing. It's April 12th. And here we are. Still here. We're solidly into week 4 of my CoronaVlogs. And not much of an end in sight. I think we've got at least another month or two to go before we'll really be able to go out and about so very much. So we're trying to settle in here and get comfortable and, you know, those kinds of things. I'm wearing my Roulotte Shawl by Shanel Wu, Pimpernel. I have it on inside out, so I have to show it to you like this, but it has beautiful mosaic in it. I do like a nice mosaic. And lace and, you know, I mean, just really fun knit. Fun shawl to knit. It's big, it's squishy, it's, you know. I'm going to have it over my simple v-neck raglan sweater, which I showed you previously and talked about. My first successful sweater that's really a giant tunic. Goes almost to my knees. I just got carried away. I ended up working on my boxy yesterday. It actually doesn't go that fast, so I'll have stockinette to work on for a while, and maybe if my brain kicks in, I'll finish the short rows on my arcade with that beautiful Yoshi and Lucy yarn and work with that yarn for a while. That'll be fun. Once I get the short rows done, then I'm just doing raglan increases, and that's not a big deal. And then I'll have 2 choices of beautiful yarn to do, and they'll both be stockinette. Hey, if I want something more important, more challenging than stockinette, I can always pick up my linen sweater and do the lace. So I got plenty of options here. Plenty of options. Plus, I have 3,000 patterns in my Ravelry. Not all of them, but I bought plenty of them, let me tell you. And so I got plenty of things I could be knitting. I feel like I could use some hats. And Dennis wants gloves with fingerless. What he really wants is fingerless gloves. So he wants the fingers, but he doesn't want the tips. So that when it's cold in his office, when I have a fire, he can still play on his computer and have his. He doesn't want them straight across. He wants them to each have their own finger. He doesn't have those. He's asked for those a while ago. There's a reason he doesn't have those. Doesn't mean I'm never going to make them for him. I might just do that. I took my mother, the thrummed mittens I gave my mother back from her. She's not using them. They're hardly going outside at all. So I have thrummed mittens that I had this winter. And that was good. So I don't have to make myself thrummed mittens. Dennis would like some, though. I'm not really in the mood to knit things for other people. I guess I'm in a personal knitting place. I don't want to call it selfish knitting because I find that to be ridiculous. Because it's my hobby. Why was it being selfish if I'm making it for myself? I'm in a personal knitting phase of my knitting. But it does make me smile when Dennis puts his hat on that I made him. He has 2 hats I made him. So I can imagine it would make me smile if I saw him putting on these gloves. Except he would only wear them in the office when I was in here, and the only time he needs them is when there's a fire in here, and I'm not going in his office if I've got a fire in here. So anyway, ramble. But I could knit any myriad of things, and if something catches my fancy. I have not been spinning. I haven't spun in a few days since the last time I told you I spun. So I only spun like 3 days in a row. But I have been doing my fire hydrants. I have been just doing them on the dog bed when Macy's out at night barking at the neighbors, because she does that every night. And Pearl's here sleeping at like a log. I get on the dog bed and I do them on the dog bed because I need something soft for my knees. I use my blocking pads upstairs in my room. I don't have a yoga mat or anything. I just put a little stack of blocking pads under my knees and do my fire hydrants. So I have been doing my fire hydrants. I just haven't been spinning. Maybe I'll spin today. I don't know what I'm going to do today. But I can do whatever I want because I'm the boss of me these days. The only thing I can't do is go out. But I can do whatever I want in the house. Going to do our taxes one of these days. Dennis would like to get them done before the 15th, even though we don't have to. Our taxes are not complicated. They're just a pain, and they're always like the worst day of the year is tax day, when you just have to get everything organized, and you know, we always grump at each other. We always do. Maybe we won't this year. Could happen. We are getting along really well, you know, it's nice. But we're also trying. Gotta try. And not grump at each other too much, even when you're feeling a little grumpy. And it's easy to have grumpy moments. So, but we're doing pretty well. And that's good. But no sun today. So I'm just going to keep working. Right now, I'm just going to keep working round and round on my boxy. I'm actually really liking the way that first sock blank is knitting up. So that was a nice surprise. So I'm just going to keep going with it because I like it. So I'm just going to keep going with it. I could show it to you. Why don't I do that? I did take a picture of all the sock blanks laid out together so that I would have it for the podcast. Because I can imagine myself having many of these already done. So this is how it's knitting up. Isn't that pretty? Very nice. Yummy. Of course, it's a sock blank, so it's all curly. And this is what the sock blank looks like. Isn't that pretty? And it's knitting up in wonderful little stripes. Now, one thing I did, and I'm a little sorry, but I'm not sure. She had a tiny little blob of pink at the end of this sock blank. That was clearly a mistake. There's no pink in this at all. So she dripped something on the sock blank. And it didn't occur to me until much later that I could have just pulled that part off and started, you know, but I didn't. So I have this tiny little pink in my sweater. I kind of like it, I guess. Show you my other sock blanks while I've got them here. So this is the bluey one. This one, she says, is printed with ginkgo. Ginkgo, but it's got, the background is a little blue. I don't know if you can tell that, but it's got yellow and then this one is orangey and yellow, and this is printed with eucalyptus. The background on this one is a little peachier. So all these backgrounds are different. I don't know if you can see that. So this is going to fade into a very nice. And this one has blue. Oh, there's a little of that pink again. See, it's going to all pull together. A little tiny bit of that pink. And this is marigold, let's see. Dyed with madder, cochineal, logwood, marigold, maple, black walnut, butterfly pea flower. Oh my God, she threw, I think this was, you know, like what we used to call end of the day beads, like when we had a long bead making session, you have a lot of glass out and you have little pieces of glass left, and then you just put it all in that last end of the day bead. Some of those beads turned out to be amazing. I think this is the end of the day. This was the end of the day sock blank. She threw everything in there. So a little bit of cochineal. That's what that pink is. So I was thinking this would be at the top with all the different colors. There you go. That's what I'm thinking for my boxy. That's going to be a fun boxy. By Joji Locatelli, if you don't know, which of course you do. So anyway, I was really tickled with how that was knitting up. And it's so funny because it's so curly and it's textured because of the using it straight off of the, but yeah. So I didn't get very far. I had only gotten the 2 or 3 rows of ribbing done before, so I only did 1.5 inches yesterday. I mean, I wasn't like pounding it out or anything, but obviously it's gonna go slow, which is fine because you know what? I have time. So I hope you all are well. I hope you have a wonderful Easter and Passover and whatever, or Sunday. And that you have time for yourself and for your crafting. And I wish you all well. I hope you're all so well. So stay safe and stay sane.